Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle and today we're looking on the unique named weapon with the longest description ever added to Fallout 76. There it is, Resolve Breaker, a reward for doing the raids. At the same time, outside of it being the longest description, it's the only weapon ever combining two-shot and blooded in one, because that's a blooded prefix. And it comes with second prefix that normally would not be possible, which is two-shot. Fires 2 projectiles per shot. They cut down a little bit on two-shot description, which is probably good, as it is splitting projectiles on half, then adding damage. Currently the nerf was undone, so both projectiles are doing the full damage. The same situation is on the Nuka Launcher, that is the biggest competitor of this weapon, so that's what we are comparing with. That's the Nuka Launcher, that's the normal description of the two-shot effect, plus 1 projectiles, plus 25% damage. It is the same. Different wording for both weapons, they both two-shot. They both have two-shot prefix. This one has some unique tweaks into it. Like there is added cryo damage. It's not really added. Some of the ballistic damage is transferred into the cryo portion. So it's not a bonus damage. It is damage being split, which has plus and minus into it. There is as well one thing that's a big minus because it doesn't work as intended in some circumstances. And that's a problem. I will show you exactly in a moment how the problem is occurring and why is it such a big problem. As you can notice, the fire rate is the same as regular grenade launcher, so it's not like Nuka Launcher. Nuka Launcher comes with greatly increased fire rate, but this one is AP cost of 18, when Nuka Launcher is AP cost of 22, so you can say the new launcher way better for VATS. Not really, but it looks like it could have been way better for VATS. The fire rate of Nuka Launcher is crazy high, and it comes with additional bonus damage to mole miners, what makes it a great weapon to kill mole miners inside the raid. Unfortunately, they do appear only on stage 2, when you shouldn't be defending much and only push forward and bring canisters in the raid. But let's go back to the Resolve Breaker. What's good about it? Of course, Blooded is awesome effect. Replenish action points with each kill. This is, if we could use it well in VATS, then it could have been good, but it is not. Damage resistance while aiming, yeah, that's not bad. Could have been way better here, but yeah, it's useful. When reloading, emit a shockwave that stuns nearby targets for 3 seconds. This is actually useful for a grenade launcher. So you need to have some distance from your target, so when they are too close, you just reload, jetpack away a little bit, and they wait for you to fire for 3 seconds, which actually makes a lot of sense on this particular weapon. I like it. Then again, already said, two-shot. Deduction to durability. It doesn't seem to be end of the world. I was using it for a little bit. It lost the bonus bar and it's close to the main bar. Those weapons were always breaking really fast. Now it's not as bad as it was in the past. Therefore, not the end of the world. It's not breaking too fast. It's okay. Target takes 100 action points for 10 seconds. This is probably mainly visible if you would try to PvP with that. Is that a PvP weapon? I don't do any PvP, so I don't know. The speed reduction for your targets, very handy. Again, you want to keep a distance from yourself and your targets. It's listing cryogenic grenade damage here at a different value than over there, even if we split that on half or what. I don't know how that's correlating. The damage number listed on description is different, and it's not even always the same. So it's not a base damage. Sometimes it's showing a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. I have no idea why this line appears. Now, is it good if we compare it to Nuka Launcher damage-wise? Yes, because the Blooded effect. So the damage overall would be the same, but without Blooded effect, Nuka Launcher is only 800 damage, and Resolve Breaker, assuming you are a Blooded build, that goes up to over 1k damage. So there is a difference. It's more damage, Unfortunately, it is split, so some of it is cryo, some of it is ballistic. It would be better if that would be just one type of a damage. And downside of some of it being cryo, when you shoot close to yourself, like I'm wearing mostly assassin pieces, but my cryo resistance is relatively low. So let's start from that. If I shoot it close to myself, I'm taking quite significant damage, and the blinding effect, yes, it's bad. Then if I shoot a nuka launcher close to myself, I take way less damage, and the blinding effect is not as bad. And it's night, so perfect opportunity to showcase the blinding effect. If I shoot a little bit farther away, so that's like normal circumstances, that way your target's supposed to be plus minus when you're fighting. Then if I switch to resolve breaker, I fire over there. See, it's way more blinding. The explosions are really bright, as well projectiles are moving slower and falling down a little bit faster. We can do one more quick test for you before we jump to enemies. If I choose to fire up, because Rainmaker is what we like to do with those grenade launchers. Rainmaker build, that's something I did in the past. If I fire straight up, you can see those going over there, and now they're falling somewhere. This explosion was too close. That's one of the problems about this grenade. That shouldn't be happening in here. And oh, there. They're falling now. Behind me, over there. Okay. That's how they fall. You can really aim even more up than with nuka launcher. Nuka launcher, if I fire, they move a little bit forward. You will see them falling. That's one of the important strategies with launchers. That's why I'm showcasing. You see, it's way more predictable when they're gonna fall, like in front of you, rather than what Resolve Breaker is doing. They travel slower and they fall down a little bit more randomly. Now, when this is a good weapon, when you have crowd of enemies. So let me gather around a little bit of those ghouls from Golf Club, and I was teleported backwards. Yeah, that happened. Rubber banding is happening sometimes. Hello? Wakey wakey. Can I shoot over there without hitting myself? Yeah, so I kind of can. Now, the point is to gather them around and drag them out. Why is it closed again? I opened those doors. Come on, get out, get out. Let's say they would be too close to me, so that's where the reload come into play. So if I want them to stop moving, I reload the gun. They slowed for like 3 seconds, and I have opportunity to jump and then fire from relatively safe distance. You can see the projectiles are relatively slow, not very easy to use. They do explode plus minus when you want them to. So very usable weapon. The damage is good. Now the VATS, as I said, the VATS seems like a great idea to use on this weapon, and VATS is working great on regular auto grenade launcher or all the nuka launcher. So why I said we have a problem. Let's visit some scorchbeasts. So you can see if I use this view, we have a scorchbeast. We reload it, and now I want to fire in VATS at it. I managed to get one critical already. Now more in VATS, that you will see exact problem. Yeah, that I don't know if you managed to see it. It was fast, but that's the exact problem. When firing in VATS, attempting to use it like you would a normal grenade launcher, some of the projectiles go back at you, explode at you instead of your target. Even when she's far, let me see, she's flying away. We'll try now. Okay, I did manage to hit, but one projectile exploded next to me again for no good reason. That's not happening with nuka launcher, so that's specific for this cryo effect. Most likely something is happening, that those projectiles are returning at me for absolutely no reason. Therefore, it makes it not usable in VATS. Unfortunately, this weapon is not usable in VATS. unless you fire like only one projectile or so on. As you cannot. Like one projectile, one critical, and it hits. I can do it, but I cannot start firing. I can fire normally. Oh, I was a little bit too close now, but I can fire normally if I keep the distance. But without VATS. If I fire in VATS, this definitely backfires at me. So I need to stay far away, as those grenades can trigger, like the first grenade exploding can trigger another one. You even see some animations, like those grenades, those cryo shell flying backwards. It's rarely happening that they truly fly backwards when you are not using VATS, but they can. You can see those shells everywhere. They look really cool though. Those shells do look really cool. Therefore, this auto grenade launcher, if you want to use it a lot, getting some extra cryo resistance would be strongly recommended. And full set of assassins, minus 4 pieces, that's not enough. I would need one more piece of assassins, switch this auto stim to assassin. So that's not enough. The build I'm currently using, if you wonder, it just quickly put together some perks to make Demolition Expert and Grenadier, as those are too important. Grenadier, Demolition Expert, to run any type of a launcher. Therefore, here you go. That's the new cool Resolve Breaker with one big problem, making it not very usable in VATS. It is good outside of VATS. It can serve as a Rainmaker. You can fire up directly. It has recoil animation. It has way too much blinding effect. And here you go. The area bombardment looks really cool when you do with it. And they travel so slowly. You can see how long. And now, how is that over there? Unpredictable grenades from that. It's the problem. They do still explode. Now behind me. You were able to see where I was firing. Why something exploded behind me, in front of me, and on my side? This randomness is cool, but as well can kill. So this weapon, very specific one, fun to use for a little bit. Not really something you could main because of those issues. Let me know what you think. Did you had an opportunity to take it for a spin, to fire some cryo grenades? Let me know. And that being said, thank you all for watching, and see you all in the next one.